are with trainer extraordinaire Robert Garcia. Double dose of action coming up this fall into the winter with first Nonito Donaire. He's been off a few months, battling through some business stuff with Top Rank. And October 22nd, what are you looking at?
We're glad things got settled with Top Rank. We are very happy to be back in the ring. Nonito's very excited about this first time in New York and first time fighting at the Garden. So he's very excited. He's got a very good opponent in front of him. Omar Narvaez is undefeated. He's been champion for quite a while. He's stepping up in weight to challenge for Nonito's title. So we're going to be ready for a great fight.
For a lot of fans who probably have never seen Narvaez before, I would imagine you probably have checked out at least a tape or two on him. What does he bring to the table?
Definitely, he brings a lot of experience. This man has been champion for many years. If I'm not mistaken, he broke the record at flyweight. 17 or 18 title defenses. So that's a tremendous fighter. Plus, he's a left-hander, so that makes it a little bit more difficult for the fight. But we're gonna be ready. We got great sparring partners already. We're making a good game plan for the fight.
With this fight with Narvaez, is there any concern about overlooking him because you're hearing names like Mares out there, even this chatter about Gamboa? Do you ever get concerned with Nonito's focus?
Not at all. Nonito always trains very hard for whoever he's fighting. If it's this time Narvaez, he's focused on Narvaez, and he doesn't think about anything else but Narvaez. He knows Narvaez brings a lot of experience and a great champion. So we can't take this fight easy. So we got to think of Narvaez.
Shifting gears, you had a very emotional weekend, I'm sure. Can you first, I want to talk to you about that fight, obviously, but before that, there was some chatter on Twitter, on some of the Facebook pages, about a brawl that may have occurred involving you after the fight. Can you discuss that at all?
No, that wasn't me. You're getting me confused. That wasn't me in that fight. It was my brother. Yeah, not me.
Well, to just jump on that, obviously you weren't even on 24/7, but you became a topic of it, a focus of it. You see the stuff that was said about you, especially by your brother. How does it affect you?
It doesn't affect at all. It is true. We haven't talked in a couple of years, but I don't. Nobody knew about this because I think this is family problems, and my sisters, my parents, my brothers are all part of it, and it's just not me and my brother. It's the whole family, and I think things like that should stay at home. There's a saying in Spanish which translates to "you do your dirty laundry at home," and that's the way we've done it. I don't know why they even brought it up on 24/7. I was very happy about it, but now the world knows, and but I'm still not gonna say why. There is good reasons, and everybody in the family knows. My brother knows, but keep it in the family.
Were you and Brandon contacted by the Mayweather camp to hang out?
Yes, we were.
What did you?
We got the invitation, and they wanted us to come in the ring with them. They had great seats for us. We just couldn't do that. That is my brother, and my parents are going to be watching the fight, and I don't think my mom would have liked that. If one day we have to fight against each other, totally different. It's part of the business, but not with somebody that I have nothing to do with in his camp. I was never going to do something like that. For respect for my brother and his team, and also for my parents.
Let's jump ahead to December 3rd. Margarito, obviously you weren't there for the first fight. What have you seen? What can you add to a guy who's already has an edge up on Cotto?
You know what, Margarito is a person that's always in the gym, always training, always in shape. As you guys see, he's not very heavy. So he'll be ready for this fight just like he was in the first time. I think with my knowledge, with what I got to bring into the gym, I think maybe a little changes, but more likely the same results.
Being a trainer and a coach, and I've been around professional sports coaches, no matter that your guy won, you want to focus on the negative and try to tighten up the negative. Obviously, the first 6 rounds weren't exactly Antonio's best in that fight. Is that where your focus is? Maybe to tighten up quicker start?
That's why fights are 12-round fights. That's why they go 12 rounds. So you could have difficulty the first half of the fight, but then you come strong, and I got other fighters who fight like that. Brandon Rios is the same way. So we just got to train them to be in tremendous shape. And of course, I'm gonna study the fight, and I'm gonna try to make a little bit of adjustments in there. But basically, it will have the same results.
And you also have your brother fighting October 22nd.
Exactly.
He's this close to fighting a Gamboa or one of those type of guys. Is that obviously he's probably not going to fight one of those type of guys maybe until early next year? Is that something you're looking forward to?
Oh, definitely. My brother's already been waiting for this for a while, and like I tell him, you're only 23, so let's be patient. The champions ain't going nowhere. We have a great manager, a great promoter, so we let them decide what's next for Mikey. If they think we need one more year, then we wait one more year. If they think it's going to take 2 more years, then we're fine. He's only 23. It only makes him stronger and hungrier. So we'll be ready anytime they feel that we're ready for it.
You've obviously been around the game a long time. Again, going back to this past weekend, because the boxing world is still really buzzing about that fight. Can you talk about about Victor's performance, how you thought he did, and what you thought of Mayweather's tactics to end the fight?
You know what? Victor is a fighter that trains very hard. I had him for about 6 years, since he was 16. So he trains very hard. He was always one of the hardest workers in the gym. But he does have weaknesses, and I know them, and he showed them again in the fight. He got disqualified once for hitting on a break. He got taking points in some of his fights for hitting when the guy was low. So he loses his head inside the ring, and exactly what we've seen in Mayweather. Mayweather was just dominating, landing those right hands over and over, and Victor lost his head, couldn't land a solid shot. So he came with a very, very bad headbutt, who everybody's seen. Then I think a hug and a kiss is not gonna forgive you. Mayweather's a professional. Mayweather's been in this business for forever. He's been in those events, big events, for the past 10 years. So he's been there. A hug and a kiss is not gonna forgive you. So if he's seen a good opening, it was legal. I could say maybe I wouldn't have done it. Maybe I wouldn't advise my fighters to do something like that. But to win a fight, you got to do whatever it takes, and he did it, and he pulled it off. I don't blame him for it, because after he got butted so bad, he got they cut him open in his lips. So I don't blame him. I think he did what he had to do.
Had that been one of your fighters, would you feel good about that win?
You know what? After what happened, that headbutt, and yes, I would have. Yes, I would have. Not if it's on a break where there's nothing has happened. It's a clean fight, and then the ref, gets you get your opponent off guard. I would, maybe not. But what happened a minute earlier with that headbutt, which wasn't, it was totally intentional. I think I would have been okay with that.
You meant
there's a lot of talk already about a rematch. Golden Boy's really rallying for a rematch. As someone who's very familiar with Victor, does the fight change at all the second time around if they do it again?
Well, Mayweather showed that 16 months off doesn't affect him at all, and I think we would see something similar where he just starts landing and picking Victor apart little by little. I think it was just a matter of time. A few more rounds, it would have we would have had the same results anyways.
You mentioned Brandon real quickly. What's in the works with him?
Brandon will be fighting December 10th. We still don't have an opponent. Cameron Duncan is working on that right now, but he will be fighting December 10th.
Johnny Molina was one of the names mentioned. Is that one of the names that you've gotten?
You know what? Brandon fights anybody. Brandon is ready to fight anybody. He wants the best out there. If Cameron's okay with that, we are definitely going to be ready for John Molina. If it is John Molina, whoever it is, but Cameron may cause the last shot.